Welcome to the Shoulder Strikes MMA podcast. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box. Welcome to the Shoulder Strikes MMA podcast. You are now listening to the Hot Take Hot Box.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the Shoulder Strikes MMA podcast brought to you by the Hot Take Hot Box. My name is Matt McSweeney. I am joined by the Ty Capone, as a dog just yelps driving by here. Ty, we are here to talk about UFC 301. We have also some Canelo discussion after Canelo took care of business against Munguia. Did not cash out our TKO bet, but alas, it is what it is. Ty, did you enjoy the fight?
Inoue fight.
I did a little bit. I saw he got knocked down, came back, and just destroyed that guy.
Early morning of Monday. I kind of like waking up early for that. I know not a lot of other people were tuned in, but I was. So, yeah, there's some good action over the weekend and the week, if you want to count Monday. I don't know if there was any – there wasn't any PFL, right? Or was there?
No, I don't believe so. Smart of them.
It's hard to ever know, right? It's hard to ever tell when there is any kind of PFL, as they call themselves, the 1B to UFC's 1A.
Have they really called themselves that?
Yeah.
It's a disgrace. Because they're a joke, and so is Bellator and all the other ones. I wish somebody would put together a fight promotion that could compete. You know, honestly, I don't. I want them all to fight under the same umbrella and just fight, like, have the best fighters fight the best fighters all the time. I hate seeing a guy like Patchy Mix who could, I think, easily compete for a UFC title. And it's just kind of, he's out there and we'll never really know how really good, good he is compared to some of these guys in the UFC that we see fight on a, somewhat consistent basis. But Ty, did you enjoy the fights this weekend? We're going to get into everything that happened at UFC 301. Alexandre Pantoja took care of business via decision, full 5 rounds. But we'll get into that specifically, but I just want to hear your thoughts on the fight card overall.
Let's look. Let's do a quick recap real quick. Yeah. I mean, the main card had some action to it. There was a big upset. I think if you look at the prelims, there was some
wild shit that happened, some boring stuff. There was a lot of
there was some mix. It was a mixed bag for sure, but I think all in all, I think it was a pretty solid card. I think there was a couple lulls a couple times, like the close fight, the Barbosa fight was very low level. Bonfim didn't get it done. The Lucinda fight was okay. Yeah, I think all in all it was a solid card. So
let's start at the top. UFC 301. No, you know what's crazy, Ty? Nobody stayed for the main event. They all left after the Jose Aldo fight. The Brazilians don't give a shit. That's what I've been finding out these last few years. They've always said how great of a fan base this is, and they love MMA and all, yada yada yada, but it's kind of the opposite. I don't know. I guess opposite maybe not be the right word, but they really just are disrespectful in a sense. They don't give a shit at all. I turned around and I saw at one point when they were when Pantoja and Erceg were standing across from each other, like third round. I looked up. They showed like a background shot, and I'm like, oh my god, there's nobody there anymore. They all left. Like what? Yep. What the fuck happened? I don't understand that. I get being like a fan of Jose Aldo, the King of Rio, all that. But, I mean, come on. What's the point of buying tickets to a fight if you're not going to stay for the last one? I don't get what.
It was a good fight.
It was a good fight. Pantoja wins. Unanimous decision, 48-47 on a lot, 49-46 on the one, which I'm not quite sure. I thought Erceg won 3 and 4 for sure. I think Pantoja won 1 and 5 for sure. I think it came down to that second round, whether you scored it for Erceg or not, and I don't have a problem either way. I don't think this is a robbery. I ultimately think that Steve Erceg, and I feel bad for him, and he blamed himself, and he's right. I think he cost himself this championship by trying to push the grappling as much as he did, especially later on in the fight. You could tell he had the obvious advantage in the striking game. He was hurting him with the elbows. His jab was getting home. Pantoja was getting tired when the wrestling wasn't working, and when Erceg was able to get back up. But I think it was just kind of a natural thing for Erceg because he was starting to get tired and he wanted to go to something that was more comfortable for him. maybe taking him to the ground, but that's Pantoja's wheelhouse. He's awesome on he's incredible at scrambling. He never settles for being on the bottom, and he kept fighting until he would eventually sweep Erceg and end up on top. And his top control and his pressure is smothering. And it's not necessarily where he's going to finish you or get you out of there, but he's winning those minutes. He's winning those rounds. And I felt for Erceg because I thought he did enough to win this fight. And he just kind of lost to a more experienced, just a better, a better fighter right now. Maybe next year this fight happens. It might be a different story. Erceg gets a couple more fights under his belt, but I think this is not going to be the last time you see Steve Erceg in a title fight.
No, I 100% agree. I think he, I guess depends how you score the second, third, and fourth. I guess you could have had an argument for him winning. I think it went Pantoja, Erceg, Pantoja, Erceg, Pantoja. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Round 3, very close. I think round 3 came down to Pantoja was doing very well until he got hit with an elbow that cut him with 90 seconds left. But I still gave him that round. I think he landed the better, probably not the best shot of the round, but all in all, the better shots, more shots. He outstruck him 34-22 on significant strikes, 37-26 on total, and he got him down 3 times for 2 minutes of control. I know that doesn't tell the full story. That elbow was the damaging blow. It cut him open, right? Damage. They score on damage, but they also score on, cumulative damage and cumulative strikes, and he outlanded him. And round 1 was Pantoja. I think round 2, Erceg finally started, using his jab, setting up the rest of his striking.
Yeah.
Round 3, like I said, very close.
I guess I think I had those rounds mixed up. I think the 2 and 3 were because, like you said, like all 3 judges had round 3 for Pantoja, but I thought that was more of a toss-up than that. I thought maybe one person would have given it to Erceg.
Yeah, I think David Torelli gave 1, 2, 3, and 5 to Pantoja. I wouldn't have given 2. I think he got thoroughly outstruck in 2.
Yeah.
28-23, 33-27 total. He did get a couple takedowns, only a minute and a half of control. Round 4, I think Pantoja honestly took that round off. He didn't get a takedown, only had 11 seconds of control. It was the only round he didn't get a takedown, and it was the lowest volume besides the fifth.
Yeah.
For Pantoja. I honestly think he just kind of cruised on that one. After the third, Pantoja's corner said they were up 3-0, and then Erceg's corner said they were down 3-0.
And
I was kind of surprised. Yeah, I do too, but I was kind of surprised, even though I also liked all the advice that Erceg's corner was giving him. I'm not sure who exactly those guys are, but they're pretty solid at what they do. They had him ready to fight for a champion in Brazil, one of the better flyweights of all time. Might seem crazy, but Pantoja's a dog, man. He was eating solid shots. The second elbow, I think, was at the 5th round. The problem was Erceg messed up. He tried getting the takedown in that 5th. He did get it, and then he got taken down himself. Got away with the fence grab, and then a couple times, and then he had that second elbow. So I guess that second elbow, that second cut that he opened up was the best shot of the 5th round, and I think Pantoja landed a couple low kicks and a big right or a big left. I think right after that elbow, he followed up with a nice left hook. And then Erceg tried for another takedown, got reversed right away, controlled for the entirety of that round. So I think it was kind of even on the striking. And then they ended the ground, massive grappling edge, had a little ground and pound, a couple passes. He took his back, I think maybe. Also, I'm pretty sure he bled a little bit into Erceg's mouth. So that was kind of gross.
That was wild. He was leaking, dude.
Yeah. The first cut, too, he grabbed his head right away, like, damn.
That was wild. Yeah, like it was almost like, wow, this is fucking hurting me, man. Like I am leaking big time.
So I was impressed by both guys. Honestly, I think this was a great fight. The fans that left missed a great showing. I think Erceg could have mixed up his attacks a little bit more to the body, to the legs. I think he could have looked for some knees or some different kind of kicks. The elbow was there all day. That was money.
Especially later on in the fight. That's more tired Pantoja got, the sloppier he got.
Yeah, he comes in with that kind of just looping hooks that he kind of throws to the body and to the head, and also uses it to get close to you so he can grapple. But he also did well in the clinch. Pantoja did, which I thought would be the opposite. Yeah, there was just a couple things. Obviously, Erceg being so young and so raw and so green, just has to sharpen up on. I would like to see more kicks, a lot of more clinch work. Just use use that length, that height, that size, that strength advantage. I think it takes him a little bit to really get his boxing, get his hands going fully. So he's got really good hands. But either way, man, just blood and guts affair. It was a really tough fight, and I think Pantoja just edged it.
Yeah. I don't think it was one of them things where I had Erceg moneyline, obviously, and I was just I actually got up in the middle of the 5th round as soon as he got taken down, or the takedown got reversed, and I was just like, why, man? Like, why? They could have stood up for the last 2 minutes of that round, and he probably would have outstruck him, or he would have fought off a takedown. He would have looked better, and he probably would have won the fight. On 2 of those scorecards would have been a split decision victory, and Steve Erceg would be the new 125-pound champion. It would have been over with. But, he made a mistake. We've seen Chael Sonnen make a mistake and get cost him one of the bigger upsets in MMA history. And, this wouldn't have been on that level, but it would have been a big time, it would have been a big upset, it really would have been, because Steve Erceg's number 10 in the rankings. He really had no business kind of getting this title shot, but he proved that he is 100% worthy of being in the conversation from now on. So I don't know if he's maybe 1 or 2 more fights, but I really do think he is worthy of getting I think they moved him up 1 spot in the rankings off of that, which is insane, but I think he is worthy.
I would have put him right in the top 5.
I don't see why he shouldn't be above Mukayev or Manel Kopp at the very least, and to number 9 is kind of disrespectful, but yeah, exactly. Nicolau, who just got turned into a lawn chair last week, he's behind him. That doesn't make much sense to me, but again, him getting this fight shows you that the rankings really don't mean all that much, so it's not something to really get all that upset about.
Which we do.
So for Pantoja, do you really care? Is it probably going to be? Should it be Royval? I really hope not. I mean, what, Albazi? Is Albazi next? I don't know. Like that. This is something that I don't really care.
Yeah, maybe
that much about.
They give Royval another shot because the first fight was good and close, but yeah, I don't really care either. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's the tough thing. That's why I was really another reason why I was rooting for Steve Erceg, just because he would have given new life to this division.
He's beaten Royval twice, so it's like, do we give him a third chance? Does he really deserve the Max Holloway Volkanovski treatment?
And I don't even think Amir Albazi deserves the title shot that he's probably going to get. But his last 3 wins are against Francisco Figueiredo, Alessandro Costa, and Kai Kara France, which I don't think he even won that fight. So.
Yeah,
it is what it is. MMA is not a fair game. UFC is not a fair game, and it's just something you're going to have to deal with. So, a good win for Alexandre Pantoja. I can't wait to see what's next for Steve Erceg. I hope he gets another opportunity at the title at some point down the road. Ty, the King of Rio, Jose Aldo. You want to talk about turning back the clock? He looked incredible on Saturday night. He really did. He was firing body shots. He had that leg, he was basically had that Muay Thai stance the whole time, bouncing that thing, making sure them leg kicks. He was firing his own inside leg kicks. I think the lefty-righty thing kind of fucked up Jonathan Martinez. I don't know what was going on. Jonathan Martinez just, I guess, wasn't ready for the vet lesson that Jose Aldo was going to teach him. And I think Jose Aldo could have gotten him out of there in that 3rd round. And he kind of mercifully decided not to. Yeah, he just took him down and kind of held him down there for the rest of the time. He had him on skates. That man was doing the chicken dance all over the octagon. And Jose Aldo, thank God for me, cashes out my decision bet at plus 200. Ty, I smoked this card. I really did. I think I went up like 8 units on this card. It's been. I don't want to rub it in your face. It has been a little bit of a rough.
It's been bad.
It's been a rough stretch for you, but it happens. It happens to the best of us.
I want to take Aldo. I'm like, I'm not going to go with the old guy again. I've done this too many times, and then the old guy comes out and looks young. So, and what I thought would happen, Martinez couldn't get the leg kicks going. He had no plan B, kind of like Chris Gutierrez sometimes.
Yeah.
And he got out leg kicked 10-7. So, he also, Aldo went to the body very well. I think he hurt him in the body at one point, even
I think so.
In that 3rd round. So, yeah, he just looked quicker. He had more for him, using that boxing experience that he's been able to attack on really mattered. And Martinez just didn't have anything for him. Like you said, I think the stance switching definitely mattered, or the differential. there at range, at distance. Aldo just won 70-50. So, it really wasn't. I mean, the first round was close, but even then, Martinez didn't land shit. And I think Aldo landed a couple good shots and was pushing him back, had the pace, the pressure going. And, he just controlled the entirety of this octagon, the entirety of this fight.
Yeah, it was really one-sided. I was shocked by how it was not really all that close. Jonathan Martinez, like you said, though, you did make mention of it. It was like if these leg kicks really, if he's not able to get them off and keep Jose Aldo stationary, then, I mean, Aldo was he was blitzing in. He was so fast for a 37, 38-year-old man. And he looked great. He really did. Now he's ranked number 8 in the 135 division. I guess he's not done. It doesn't sound. He didn't take his gloves off and lay him down in the octagon. So I guess we were gonna at least get one more Jose Aldo. And I love him coming out with the crown on. It was awesome. The crowd was into it. It was an awesome. It was probably pretty much the main event of the night compared to everybody just dipped the fuck out for the fucking main event. So. Great win for Jose Aldo. Thank you, Jose, for cashing me out, and we keep it moving. This one, of course, this happened. We talked about it, and it was just the vet lesson sort of thing, and it really wasn't even a vet lesson. It was just kind of a lucky guillotine that Anthony Smith locks in. I think what was it, a submission plus 1,300 or something like that for Anthony Smith.
Insane.
Of course, we missed the opportunity to do that, but. There's never a universe where I would have bet Anthony Smith's submission over Vitor Petrino. I never thought that was going to happen. Did it look like Petrino blew his knee out throwing a punch at one point in this fight? I don't know what was going on.
Right before he shot the takedown, he got that calf kick that absolutely shut down his leg, and he started to limp, and then he went for a takedown, and that was it.
Yeah.
That calf kick shut him down completely. I think it not blew up, but it was black and blue or marked up for sure right away. When Smith threw it, didn't even seem like a big one, but it was the right one. And he panic wrestled and got guillotined. And as soon as it happened, I was like, "Oh man, this is it. Yep. This is where the vet beats the young kid." And that's tough scenes all around for the boys.
Yeah, I came back. I went to go get a beverage, and I came back into the room, and this guy was limping. And I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck happened?" And I saw the replay. I was like, "What?" I was like, no, he had to punch. It looked like he I guess you're right though. He threw a punch, he landed a kick at the same time, and then he started limping. And I was like, oh my god, he blew his knee out. I'm like, he's done. And then he, like you said, he shoots his takedown, and then it just right away, especially early on in these fights when they're dry, you're done. If they lock that guillotine in pretty clean, then there's really nothing you can do about it. You're going to sleep or you're tapping, tap or nap. And Petrino chose tap, and he got out of there. Anthony Smith, big win for him. Guess he's not going away anytime soon. Even Anthony Smith looked like he was shocked that he won. You could tell when he was celebrating, he was like, "Holy shit! I guess I'm not done yet. Let's go."
I got one more in me.
Yeah, I got one more in me. And then Bruce Buffer fucks up the announcement saying, "And still undefeated." And Anthony Smith was like, "What? What are you talking about?"
I got 50 losses, bud.
Yeah, he's like, "Dude, I've lost more than this guy's even fought." So good win for Anthony Smith. Vitor will be back. Maybe he's not on the DMB yet, but that is definitely
It's a tough one.
It's a strike against you, and you don't. This isn't a fair list, or where you need 3 strikes. I could just get rid of you the next time. So he's now matchup dependent. Vitor is on the matchup dependent list when we talk about the Shoulder Strikes MMA podcast betting list, docket, everything that you could, any word that you could describe it as. Michel Pereira. Submission, standing guillotine choke, 54 seconds against Ihor Potieria. Ihor looked like they just picked him up off of a bus stop in Kensington, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia area. For anybody who is a local, he didn't look good. And then he got he put he had the braids in, and Michel rocked him. Took him down, I'm sorry, didn't take him down. He did a backflip into him. And then his knee almost landed on his head, and they were trying to basically take my submission, which was one of my biggest hits of the night at plus 385 off the board. You can imagine how angry I was sitting there watching this going, there's no way they're going to fuck me out of this money. I am going to be so enraged if this goes the other way. And it didn't. It didn't, Ty. It stayed my way. You know, this is a typical situation where you had the TKO. Of course, it should have been a TKO because he rocked him, and then he just gets lucky. He does a backflip, jumps. The guy gets up and he just locks his neck up, and it's just absolute chaos every time Michel Pereira gets in there. And I'll be curious to see what they do next with him because he's really just finishing guys, getting them out of there. And now he's ranked. He's up at 13. So I'd like to see what they do with him next. I'd actually like to see him fight Roman Dolidze, as I've been told. Who it was? Fluffy, right? Fluffy pulled out. I think somebody told me that at watching the fights, and I didn't confirm it because I didn't care all that much at the time. But it sounded like a trustworthy source, so I was like, wow. And then I matchmaked Michel Pereira versus him on the spot. So
I'm here for it. Or Pereira against Imavov or Brendan Allen or something. I'm here for it. Give Pereira anybody. Yeah, he likes to club and sub guys, I've noticed. He also likes to do backflips. Yeah. Potier took a couple L's in this fight. Man, tapped out and then he flew backwards, unconscious. That was just bad. It was a rough night in the office for the duelist, who I believe has now lost 3 of his last 4.
Yeah, he can go duel. He can go duel in the regional scene for all I care. After
he
what
might get one more chance. He's 2-4.
Shogun.
Yeah. This was the revenge.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Ivo Potier already has a nut.
Oh no! No, that can't be real.
Oh no!
That can't be real.
Indeed. It has to be.
No,
yep.
No way. No, I'm almost positive that no.
With my Russian sources.
Yeah, he's supposed to fight Shara Bullet. Everybody out there for. That's not a good matchup for him. Because he's going to try and unless he can maybe take him down, which I doubt that he'll be able to do.
Okay, so he was supposed to fight. It was already scheduled. Okay, so he probably isn't fighting. I was going to say that's a rough. I mean, Jesus, that is just brutal. They got to give him Robert Britchick again or something. But either way, Michel Pereira gets it done. Good for him. And I mean, we'll see what's next for him. I don't even know. He's only 30. There's a lot more that can come, I guess, from what he can do. You know, we haven't seen his all around game yet, still at middleweight, but I don't know if it matters. You know, he's putting guys out within a minute every time. So
yeah,
there you go.
Really, it doesn't. You know, I guess we'll see what's next for him. I think it's just a big step up in competition is necessary now. I think he's proven at 85 that he's legit. Now let's see if he can do that against some of these upper level guys. Can he really just flash, just spark through someone that's in the top 10? Let's see. I want to see it happen. How about our boy, the fight? How about the fight nerds all coming out with the glasses on this week? I loved it.
Elite.
It was awesome. Caio Barreiro getting Paul Craig's bum ass out of there. I've had enough of him, to be honest. Left cross just literally turned him into a folding chair. He was rocking him. I love that Caio didn't play around on the ground. I was worried that he was going to do that and end up getting subbed. You have an obvious advantage in one area. Why not just exploit it and do that to beat the guy instead of trying to – I love these guys all out there that are always trying to prove a point. It seemed like Erceg was trying to prove a point in the main event at some point, trying to take down Pantoja. And it's just like, stop, bro. Like, no, you don't get any rewards or cred for proving points. You get rewards and cred for winning and knocking dudes out and submitting them. That's all that matters is titles and money and all that stuff. Caio takes care of business in this one, gets Paul Craig out of there.
Man, Paul Craig's chin looked like it wanted to go from the bell, the opening bell. That was bad.
He's got a bad chin.
Yeah, you did. So I don't know shit about Caio Barreiro. It's a big win for him, honestly.
It is.
Just to keep climbing. And he's right behind Michel Pereira in the rankings. So we'll see where he can go. He's only, 29, 28, or 30. So, yeah, middleweight division finally has some life into it.
How about Joe Anderson Brito? Jack Shore. Jack Shore looking like he took a gunshot wound to the shin. That stops this fight. His shin basically exploded on a leg kick, I'm pretty sure.
No. It looked like there was a cut or a scar already in that same spot, I believe, right? And then it opened up, and It went deep.
Yeah, it opened up.
It looks like he got shivved. But That sucks. Unfortunate for him. He looked like he didn't even know what was happening. He was like, yeah, whatever. I think Burrito was winning, but it wasn't a blowout by
No.
any means. He wasn't really getting any grappling going. Unfortunately, I wish, but
Yeah, he was really pushing it.
he was pushing. But yeah, Jack Shore was game for sure. I see what I did there. But yeah, tough way to lose, honestly.
Yeah, and this wasn't really exactly a firefight before the stoppage.
So I wasn't sure his nickname was Tank. I didn't know that. So.
Yeah, you find out new things every
There
day,
you go.
but that's a good win for Joe Anderson Brito. It sucks for Jack Shore. I'd like him to take some time off, let that gunshot wound recover on his shin, and I don't think he's I didn't really gain much from that fight, to be honest, knowledge wise or anything along those lines. How about Yasmin Lucindo getting a unanimous decision victory over Karolina Kovacevic? This fight was boring. I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't like this fight at all. Lucindo couldn't really get anything going. I should have not taken this. I was mad at myself when I was watching this fight and watching this just happened. Lucindo was so much better than her, and she should have been able to finish her, but she doesn't really have an easy path to. I mean, the submissions maybe, but I don't know. This was just this one's on me.
Yeah, no, I mean, she probably should have got her out there, but she's so young that, her finishing instincts, they're not there yet, and Carolina's a savvy vet. She landed 61% of her significant strikes, just a huge, huge disparity, 53 to 17 head strikes. She ate some light kicks, but smoked her in distance, smoked her in the clinch, smoked her on the ground. One-way traffic, if you will.
Yeah, really, it was just one-sided. There was not anything really getting brought back the other way. Carolina's win streak ends. And that is that. How about your boy Meek DeBeck, oral by getting a unanimous decision victory over Elvis Brenner. Elvis Brenner always game. He gets a point taken away in the third round for a repeated fence grab, I believe.
Yeah, that was so crazy that he just put his hand up, didn't even stop the fight. I was like, it looks like he just motioned to take a point away, but I've never seen somebody do that. It turns out that's exactly what Mr. Fernando Portela did.
Yeah.
So,
and I like that he did that.
I guess that's a new way to take a point. Yeah, I mean, I just wasn't sure what the hell what it was. But,
yeah, I mean, fuck it. I'm not stopping the fight. I don't want to be that guy. But you're getting a point taken away because you keep grabbing the fence. I am sick of we talk about on here all the time. I'm sick of the rules being a thing and then there being no penalty for you breaking them. You can just do everything. You get warned for each thing. Yeah, I'll grab the fence if I'm getting taken down in a clutch spot. If if I'm in trouble, I'll just poke you in the eye or kick you in the nuts, and I didn't mean to do it. Oops, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, and it saves you from that guy's damaged, and now you're good, and you got a little bit of a break too. So, I thought the second round was interesting. I thought there may be a chance that somebody scored it for Brenner because it was pretty close. I know Orbai had a couple takedowns, but he was 2-9, 3 minutes of control, and the significant strikes and total strikes were very close, but. And if he did lose that round, it would have been a draw 28-28, but he got all 3 rounds, got a knockdown in the third. I thought he was going to be able to finish him there, too. Brenner started getting some takedowns in the third. A pretty good dogfight back and forth, but for the most part, Orbai dominated. He's scary, man. Yeah, he really is. He has that Habib, that kind of aura to him. Yeah, those kind of guys where they just... It doesn't matter what's happening. He's getting better. He's spamming takedowns. He doesn't care. He's going to walk through the fire to get you to the ground. And Elvis Brenner is no bum. And I'm going to smash you. And that's all they care about. So, good win for Meek DeBeck. I'd like to see what they do next with him. That fight was 155? Yep. So, and it didn't look like he was, depleted. He looked like he was starting to get a little bit tired towards the end. Yeah. But... I think he kind of looked like that last time. Maybe getting these fights under your belt, you'll become more comfortable going the full 15 when you have to take these guys down over and over again. How about Jakar Close? Joaquim Silva, Jakar Close gets that decision victory. Ty, you know what I've learned from this is that I have to take more decisions. Now, I had the Borgello TKO, which was plus 250. I got lucky on. I feel like I got lucky on that. Oral by decision, plus 150. And right here, though, we should talk about your boy William Gomi. Almost dies making weight. I forgot to talk about this because he was next on the list. He was supposed to fight. Well, I don't even remember the gentleman's name now.
What's his name? Gene Silva.
Gene Silva, yeah, Gene's. And your boy Gomi, I don't know if they just lost. They grabbed the wrong scale, or they didn't calibrate it right, or if he just got sick. It seemed like he was just like had some sort of stomach illness or flu or something along those lines, because guy showed up. He weighed in 143, and he looked like he was going to die on the scale. So they had to call that.
That was pretty
one.
crazy.
And he was throwing up backstage, and he was throwing up all whatever. So they had to cancel that fight. Sucks. Wanted to see my boy Gomi get in there. But we got the Drakkar close. Decision plus 200. Cash me out. He was winning the first 2 rounds, and then he started to gas out, and then he got rocked in that 3rd round. I thought he was going to get finished. He almost got subbed.
Choked.
Yeah.
The reverse slam.
Yes. Yeah. That was insane.
That was crazy.
I was really hoping that I wasn't going to lose my decision bet on a reverse slam, WWE style. Just slams the guy's face into the mat. But I mean, he obviously lost that 3rd round. I was just hoping that nobody gave him that 2nd round, which they didn't. I didn't think they would, but you never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
Truly, I thought the same thing, honestly, especially being in Brazil. But Ben Cartilage, David Lethaby, Rafael Ferreira, none of them are Brazilian. Well, Rafael Ferreira might be, but the other 2 are not. Didn't matter. 29-28 for Drakkar. We always got to make it close.
Yeah, definitely. And he's calling for Beneil Dariush. He wants to run that back. I would.
Let's run it, dude.
I would like to see that. Why not? How about this? This guy was my star of the night. Not like to say that he's the best or whatever, but the kind of guy where I left saying, "Damn, I can't wait to see this guy fight again." Mauricio Rufy took Jamie Malarkey out. This was your big win of the night. Your TKO plus 100. How about that, Ty? Did you have him round one TKO plus? I know you just had him TKO. I think I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. No, it's the Tapology. I feel like is wrong on a lot of these refs. It says Osiris Maya was the ref for this fight, but we know it was the guy who doesn't like stopping fights. I think Mike Beltran had the round 2 will start. Right, that's definitely the bet he had. He let Jamie Malarkey die in there almost. Yeah. That was brutal. That was really bad refereeing. I wasn't sure what the fuck he was waiting for. Honestly, when he got knocked down originally, I think that could have been it. And he was like, we'll see. He's got some more left in him. Also, how about that takedown he landed?
Yeah, the scissor, the
scissor
kick.
Yeah. And then he started out the fight with that sweeping calf kick.
Yep.
I like Mauricio Rufy. I've seen a couple people say it. Derek Brunson, I think, said it, and somebody said it on his Contender Series fight. He has the way he moves, strikes, hops around. Reminds me a little bit of McGregor.
Yeah, no.
Reminds 100%. Me a little bit of Conor, dude. Just certain things, certain striking abilities and the way he closes in on guys. I think he also, he has his hands down a lot, so that kind of worries me. But the way he moves around, moves away from punches, I like Mauricio Rufy a lot. That's my guy. Liked him in the Contender Series. I think this might be the crown prince of the Hot Take Hot Box, the Shoulder Strikes MMA podcast. Jamie Malarkey, though, I mean, it's just, he's had a rough run. I guess you can say that. He's lost 2 in a row, 3 of his last 4. He's been knocked out. I mean, how many times now? Turner, Naima, 4.
Yeah.
So 2 in a row. He's been knocked down 3 times, 4 times in his last 4 fights. All in all, I think he's been knocked down. Let's say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times he's been knocked down. 2 knockdowns for him. Devontae Smith and Common Worthy, Michael Johnson, Francisco Prado, John Makdessi. His wins aren't good.
No.
And now his losses are starting to get worse. So, yeah, he's so young is the crazy part. It's like, maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe age doesn't matter. If you've been taking this much damage, this much punishment, and it's not even like one-hitter quitters. It's multi. I mean, the Naimov, I think, punch was, right? It was just the one shot.
Yeah.
Same with Jalen Turner. But the last 2 against Hackbrass and Rufy, he got knocked down pretty much twice each and was just getting dragged out bad. So, and both in the first round. So, yeah, I think it might be Jover.
Yeah, it's Jover. It's thanks for coming. Pause. Thanks for coming, Mr. Rufy. To your point about the McGregor stuff, it was the first thing I noticed when he was bouncing around in there, and that kind of pull back right hand that he throws. It's like Sean O'Malley, McGregor-esque, kind of just he has the hands down. He's kind of baiting you in, and the second you step into that danger zone, he makes you pay for it. I can't wait to see him. He's one of those guys. He's on the list now. He might be where he might be my protege, my Shoulder Strikes MMA protege, where I just
like it.
cashed it out on this man. He might be my cash cow until he gets to the title or gets close to it. I'm a believer. I'm a big fan. How about
I'm a believer.
Dione Barbosa? Just not even taken out. I think this was a robbery. Let me say that. I had Barbosa submission. I thought Karaskete. I thought she won the last 2 rounds.
2 and 3.
I thought she did, and I don't like the. And I kind of hold out on saying those that word, that robbery word, but all 3 judges had given her the 3rd round, which is right. But I don't know how all 3 can give her the 2nd round as well. I know she really didn't do shit in that 2nd round, and she was kind of just laying and praying. But I guess you do get points for that. I don't know, Ty. I didn't feel like she deserved this win.
Yeah, the media scores were split pretty much down the middle. Danny Segura of MMA Junkie gave it to Karasketa. Ryan Frederick also did. The guy from Sherdog did too. So I was making a natty light, or actually, I'm sorry, a bush light run. When most of this, I was watching some of it and listening to some of it. I was just hoping to see a Barbosa sub. She couldn't get it done. Both women's stock, I think, is just not high. No, I don't think it dropped anything, but I just wasn't. It wasn't a good fight, as well saying. It could have been a robbery, but the problem with some of these fights, who cares,
exactly,
right? Nobody cares.
Yeah.
Ernesta is not heavy-handed. We should probably remove that nickname from her, in my humble opinion.
No, she's got pillows. Yeah, I don't really care to see either one of them fight. And Barbosa, I'm never betting her again. Probably she's on the
There you
go. It's the same thing that happened in the Contender Series. So it's basically like if she doesn't sub her in the first 7 minutes of the fight, you're fighting like you are like might as well just walk away from the TV and hope that she gets the win if you bet a money line or something along those lines, because she's not going to finish her. She's just going to keep sprawling for takedowns, and she's going to wind up starting to get beat up, because that is exactly what happened on the Contender Series. She started getting beat up at the end of that fight, and she's lucky that she hasn't reached an upper level. I mean, Rain Guerrero, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of somebody else, because she finished her in the first round. But
that chick wasn't good.
Yeah, that chick was not good. But I could just tell right away. It was like, oh boy, like this is going left pretty quick. And yeah, how about Ishmael Bonfim getting a unanimous decision victory over Vink Pichel, not to be confused with Vince Pichel. I was calling him Vink the whole time.
Vink the Zinc.
But who cares, right? This had no chance
Easy
of
work.
finishing. He wasn't really hurting them. He throws all looping shots, nothing up the middle. Who cares?
First round he rocked him a little bit, but yeah, the finishing instinct isn't there. Maybe we just have to, I guess, just anoint Gabriel as the best Bonfim brother, even though I think he just took a loss recently, right? But either way, more to see. We got more that we want to see from these Bonfim brothers, and I don't know. I don't know exactly. We'll see them take a step up and then go from. Maybe they should fight each other. How about that?
Why not? Bonfim versus Bonfim, UFC 310. Just lining up for that. No, that can't be a pay-per-view. It'll be the undercard of Derek Lewis versus Nascimento 3. They have the greatest fight night trophy.
After the disqualification and then the no contest.
Yeah, and then it'll end up like Dada 5000 where he has a heart attack in the ring. But shout out to Dada. And this is it. Alessandro Costa. This is the first fight of the night. Last fight we're going to talk about. Kevin Borjas. He smoked him. Yeah, there's really no other way to say it. This was a private life bet. I was able to cash out I think I took TKO or inside the distance, one of the two. Whichever one was plus money, and I was able to catch that W. Got lucky enough. These are some of these nights you have to revel in, because there are nights. I have had too many nights that, like the one you just had, where it's like you would never want to bet this. You never even want to watch MMA again, because you're like, I say to my friends sometimes, I'm like, they're like, what do you have? I'm like, listen, this is not a night to listen to me, because I watch this shit all the time, and I feel like I don't know anything. I feel like I have no idea what's going to happen. I'm an idiot. Not only are my guys losing, they're getting smoked. Like completely just destroyed. But, a good night for Alessandro Costa. Good night for the Brazilians. I mean, they lost, 2 fights the whole night? 3? 3 fights the whole night. So that's pretty good. They were featured as, they went 10-3 here at UFC 301. That seems like the move, Ty. Just bet to whoever's the home team. And like when we faded Canada that one time, we didn't do good.
That didn't work.
No, that did not go well. And you had all Brazilians on your thing. You were just on the opposite side of whatever it was the finish was. You had Brito sub, he TKO'd him. You had Pereira TKO, he fucking subbed him. It's like just one of them nights where it makes you, your brain hurt. But that is UFC 301, like I said. Performance of the night, Michel Pereira gets 50,000, Caio gets 50,000, Rufy gets 50,000, and Alessandro Costa gets $50,000. Congratulations to everybody who walked out with a little bit of extra bread. And Mauricio Rufy is a fight nerd as well, which I found out this weekend. So that just raised his stock 1,000,000% in my book. Anything else we have to talk about? We do. Canelo Alvarez gets a unanimous decision victory over Jaime Munguia, knocking him down a few times. Ty, were you able
just
to?
Once.
Just once. It felt like he was fucking hurting him a couple times. But listen, I don't care to see Canelo fight again until it's somebody that's actually worthy of his. Although
it's
Munguia
got to be Benavidez.
Yeah, Munguia was throwing a lot at him. He was active. It wasn't a boring fight. I will give them that. I was watching this at the same time as the Jose Aldo fight, so I wasn't locked in on this.
Yeah.
But the mariachi band, everything was coming. For Canelo coming out, it was a great celebration of Mexican culture. But what were the scorecards on this? Was it really? It wasn't really all that close, was it?
Well, I actually thought the Canelo. I thought the scorecards were a little closer. I think there was a 115-112, which basically signifies that there's a couple rounds. There's a couple swing rounds. I thought there was I think 9-3, 117-110 is what I had. At 116-111, 115-112 is how it went. I had a 117-110 with a knockdown. Yeah, I think he won probably 8 rounds to 4. I think he gave away a couple of the early ones. I think he probably lost one. I think he probably lost 1 and 3. And then 4 was probably not going his way, and then he landed that beautiful, beautiful uppercut. And then he pretty much landed or won almost every round until then. Probably took round 9 off. And he landed 50% of his power punches. That usually ends up in a stoppage, but he dominated Jaime Munguia, out-jabbed him easily. The percentage, Munguia landed 26% of his total punches. That's not going to win you many fights. He was aggressive. He was tough. Good chin. He showed a lot of things. I think Canelo fought smart, very poised. Still has that elite chin. Just he took a couple shots from a big guy. But he even said himself he saw all the Munguia shots coming because he's kind of slow, which he is. Now credit to Munguia for showing up, being game. I'm not sure why people think Canelo's losing it. I think he still has the power, has the jab. He's a savvy vet, controls the fight. He's 33, 34. That's when boxers say they usually start to lose it, and or at least lose a step. I should say. And yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's not the guy he once was, but he's going to be a tough out for anybody. We got to see David Benavidez next. Hopefully, that's what we can do. Benavidez is still talking. Hopefully that coerces Canelo into that fight because it's up to him. It's really not up to anybody else. So we'll see. I don't know if he gets it done, but if they can make that fight, I should say. But it would be good. It would be very good for boxing. And now the Better BF Bivol fight got pushed back. So
yeah.
Benavidez was looking to fight Kovacic and then fight the winner of that. So who knows what we do next? But that's what we have to do next.
To happen?
100%.
That Benavidez.
It's probably going to put. I think that was supposed to be. When was that? I thought it was supposed to be on the same night.
But...
I thought it was supposed to be the same night as that card, but it could get pushed back. It's supposed to be June 1st, so we'll see. Maybe they put it on something else, or maybe they just. It might still be on that card, I think, because Wilder, Zhang, I think they're keeping that card how it is, but.
This is at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. That's what it says for the interim WBC light heavyweight title. So I don't know how accurate that is. I saw Berlanga might fight Caleb Plant. Is that?
Yeah, they've been calling each other out. Plant hasn't fought in a while. He's getting old. Berlanga's a heavy hitter. He's young, but I don't know about Berlanga. I have to see it before I really
I'm not
believe
so
it. I
sure
think
about him either.
he's got
My
a lot of
buddies
hype.
love him, but I'm
He's
like,
got a lot. There's a lot of hype behind him, but maybe that could be the fight that he needs.
yeah, there's it's a shame that the His Excellency, his cards are starting to fall apart here a little bit. At least the better BF Bivol fight, I'm sad about losing that because I was so excited about that.
On the prelims, our boy Vito Milnecki got it done. Vito, we got a 10-round decision win
Hey,
over
how you
Cruz.
doing? Good
Hot
job,
Rod
cuz.
Stanionis. Yeah, let's go, cuz. Stanionis, Stanionis got a win over Maestri, another one. 10 years in the making for the rematch. Brandon Figueroa knocked out Jesse Magdalena with a body shot at the end of the ninth round. That crumpled him up real good. So Brandon Figueroa, man, he's putting his name in the hat for potentially the Naya Inoue sweepstakes. We'll see. He's still at 126. Inoue still at 118, I think. So I think he's at 118, right? No, he's at 122 against Neary. So he only has to go up to 126, but I think he just got to 122. So I'm not sure if that's in the cards yet. Mario Barrios got beat up by Fabian Maidana, but he ends up winning a unanimous decision victory. His eye was looking rough. So not sure what exactly happened there. I wasn't fully tuned in, but he got it done. And then Inoue, honestly, I don't know if you watched anything in that in the first round, dude. He got dropped bad. Like he didn't really know. Like he didn't look great. And Luis Neri, he said he had to do this in the first round. He was coming to do it. He was going to try to knock him out early, and that was his best chance, which is true. But he was not able to finish him off in the first round, and then after that, he got beat up. I mean, in a way, it's just his speed, his athleticism, his power, his killer instinct. That's the pound for pound number one, in my opinion. Maybe Crawford, but I think it's one of those two for sure. And I mean, in a way, is just he's awesome. He's awesome. He is the way he hits, the way he throws some of his shots and lands them with the ease that he does.
So
he is 31 though. He is 31. 33 again. That's when boxers say they start to decline. So I think I think now we're going full speed ahead. See what we can do. See, people were trying to match him up with Tank at 130. I don't know if that really happens. I think it's going to be a lot for him to make it. Dude, he started at 108. Now he's at 122. Probably going to go to 126. Hopefully, maybe he gets Lopez, who's probably even moving up. Lee Wood, Ray Ford, Nick Ball, Figueroa. Next, I think he's getting Sam Goodman in September. He came into the ring. If anybody knows who Sam Goodman is, nobody does. I wouldn't blame you. ESPN Plus, Top Rank, didn't even know who this guy was. Like, who's this guy in the cage? Is this a friend? Sam Goodman is a bloke from, I believe he's from Wales, Australia, South Wales, Australia. Yeah, he is. Okay. He's okay, but he's going to get smoked. Nobody really wants to see Inoue fight him. That's somebody Inoue should fight when he was like in his 20s. Now he's in his 30s. It's time for just the biggest fights possible. Juan Francisco Estrada, Bam Rodriguez potentially in the future. That's what I want to see. Or maybe they do a mega fight in the Tokyo Dome. Junto Nakatani, Naoya Inoue. Maybe we get that. That'd be pretty insane.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It also has been officially announced, Ty. Jerome Boots Ennis will be defending his championship here in Philadelphia at the Wells Fargo Center against a gentleman named Cody Crowley. Yep. So there you go. I'm excited for that. I'm going to try and get.
Hopefully you can go. That'd be sick. Yeah, it's he's got his belt on the line. If he wins in a good way, which I think he will, he's going to put the pressure on everybody else at 147, maybe 154, maybe Terrence Crawford. If nobody else wants to fight either of those two guys, that would be a barn burner. But I doubt it. I think people are scared to fight Boots Ennis, and I get it. But now he's matched with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn's going to get him some good fights. Maybe there's a warm up or two here and there, but he's going to get him a good fight. I can pretty much promise that.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That has been the Shoulder Strikes MMA podcast, brought to you by the Hot Take Hotbox with a little splash of boxing on the side. My name is Matt McSweeney.
I'm Ty Capone.
And as always, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you subscribe, like, comment on everything that we do. We love to hear people's thoughts, opinions. Tell us we're morons, anything you can imagine. We love everyone out there who listens, but thank you, as always, for joining us. And we will see you later on this week for Derek Lewis and Nascimento.
We got a mega whale play in the main event, ladies and gentlemen.